Hello and welcome back to another preview show. I am David Hunter, the CyclingMole, and today we're looking at Volta Algarve Stage 3. And we have another sprint on our hands today in a very familiar finish. So Tavira is the stage finish. It's 203 kilometres. It's a couple of climbs in the opening half of the stage, nothing that's going to worry anybody. We do have a little kind of lumpy section here around the 160 kilometre mark. Again, for the World Tour teams, that's absolutely nothing. This stage is all about the final 10 kilometres. So let's take a little look and see what lies in store for the riders. Now, as I mentioned, if you know the Volta Algarve, if you've watched it previously, you will have seen this finish before. Last year, it was CyclingMole who took a very impressive sprint win against some real big names. So last 10K, nice road. Tarmac looks okay, nothing that's going to really worry anybody. It's another nice sunny day, 26 degrees at this point. There's a headwind as we move along this road, which is perfect for the sprint teams. There's not going to be any late attacks. Now, as you can see, it's rather boring, rather disappointing. There's nothing really to say about this. It's just a nice long straight road. There's nothing that's actually going to happen. Sometimes with when the race is early in the season, teams can get a bit nervous and we can see a few crashes, but I don't think we're going to see any of that tomorrow, hopefully. So as you can see, no real obstacles in the final kilometres. Most of it is actually really fast. You've got quite a lot of downhill sections in this, and teams can really pick up the speed and go hell for leather. Now, the big rush point, the big fight for control of the peloton comes in this section here. We are at 2.1 kilometres to go. We are at a negative 1.4% gradient. We are going downhill, and the lead out trains will be absolutely flying because just up the road, this is where the race can actually be decided. Well, you won't find out who's winning it, but you'll find out who won't be winning it because this roundabout is hugely important. So we're still coming in 1.4K to go, 1.3K to go, and we get to this roundabout here. So we come off 2 lanes, it narrows down to 1 lane. So naturally, there's a little bit of lining out in the peloton, and we will go very fast round this corner. You can see this corner here. Again, it's not tight. The riders can go around at full speed, but because we've kind of going around it in single file, it means that if you're too far back, you are out the game. This is what Team Sunweb, as they were last season, did perfectly. They got to the front right for that section. And then as you go through here, look at this, minus 8.1%, you are absolutely flying down here. Through this little underpass, you are in control and nobody is coming past you because you are going so quick. So this is where the kilometre to go sign is. And we're about to come up to another kind of pinch point for the riders. As I say, you're still going really fast. That's the downhill section just finished. You're now on the flat, and we are still inside, just about to head inside the kilometre to go, and we come up to this roundabout here. The riders are going straight on. You can see it's not just straight through. They are going to have to go down to the right-hand side a little bit, which means the pace will be knocked off. If you're in control of the peloton at this point, if you've got 3 or 4 riders, you can fan across the road. You take the roundabout at the speed that you want to take it, which is an old trick that Greg Henderson once taught me. Having a strong lead out train is obviously going to be really important. We exit the roundabout again. It's relatively narrow. It comes out onto 2 lanes. By this point, you've only got 700 metres to go. If you want to move up the peloton, you've got to do it now. But you don't have too long. Look, there's going to be another corner just coming up in a second. If you're going to move up the peloton, you're only talking about moving up 10 positions maximum. So we exit the corner, exit around about 700 to go, and then it's about just staying in your position, preparing for the final corner, which is just coming up now. So as we approach here, we are at 500 metres to go. I'll try and go a little bit slow for this point so we can appreciate this bit. 400 to go, and you're going up there on the right-hand side. Relatively narrow. Teams will want to be over on the left-hand side so they can take the corner with speed. Some will dive bomb on the inside to try and steal a good position. Very important final bend. At this point, with 400 metres to go, ideally, I would want 2 men in front of my sprinter. I would want my sprinter, say Sam Bennett, sitting in position 3 as we go through this corner. Then position number 3, he can just do a little bit of an extra turn because this is an uphill sprint. It doesn't actually seem that bad once we look at it, but I can tell you from having watched this stage finish a number of times, it's actually harder than the numbers suggest. So we've got a 300-meter finishing straight. The wind is coming from the side, but as you get up towards the finishing line, it does actually kick up a little bit. So timing of the sprint is really important. It's not like stage one where Bennett waited until like 150 to go before he launched because it was a very steep uphill. This is more of a grind. However, if you can leave it to 150 to go, then that would be about perfect. Quickstep are the dominant team. They were unbelievable on stage one, despite losing two of their main men in a crash. The turn that Ballerini did was out of this world. Tomorrow, if they've got this full sprint train for this finish, I do not see anything else other than a quick step victory. Ackerman's there. He might push them a little bit, but to be honest, coming around Bennett's going to be very hard. Danny Van Poppel finished stage one quickly, but his position was a problem, as it always will be. Aberasturi, solid sprinter, not really quick enough to beat the big ones here. So stage 3 Algarve, sprint finish in Tavira, uphill sprint, all about position going into the final 2K. It's going to be another quick step victory for me. See you.